that's a small group. If you're watching this and you're saying, this guy is some kind of an idiot, talking about oils, you're allowed to your opinion. And but I'm not a professional speaker. I love Young Living products. Why do I Young Living products? Because I want to just sell you something? No. I love Young Living products because they made a big difference in my life. I am better physically and emotionally today than I was 15, 20 years ago because of Young Living products. So I love to share what has really impacted my life, my wife's life, and all of my children and my grandchildren. And all three of my grandsons, including the one that was just born 2 hours ago, have been using essential oils all of their life. And how can you say he's been using oils all his life? Because his little mommy rubbed oils on her belly every day. And she went on Facebook because she rubbed essential oils on her belly every day throughout her pregnancy. And she loved showing her belly that had no stretch marks whatsoever because she knew what oil to put on there to stop that from happening. So that's kind of cool. So my grandson is going to breathe in fresh air for two hours and has been exposed to Young Living essential oils every day of his life for the last 9 months. And he's going to have to get used to it every day for the rest of his life. And so the easiest way of sharing Young Living with other people, now I'm going to back up for a second, help people. We're talking to people that are looking for high quality essential oils. I personally believe that Young Living essential oils are the cleanest and purest essential oils on the market. I also personally believe, which is my own opinion, not the opinion of Young Living Corporate, but in my opinion, you would be better off never to have heard about essential oils than to use any essential oils other than Young Living. That's my opinion. Because a lot of essential oils that are on the market today are not clean and pure enough to be used in the way that we're going to talk about in the next few minutes. So a starter kit comes in this really cool box. You take the sleeve off the top like that. You open it up here. You have 10 beautiful oils on the top. Inside this part is some information that Young Living can provide that is compliant with Health Canada, and that is inside this little folder. You have a nice little gold ribbon here. You open that up there. Because I've seen people take the oils out of this part and throw the box out. That would be a real shame. Because underneath here, you have 2 packets of Young Living oil infused Ninja Red. What are you laughing at? You didn't know this is underneath there? Yeah. No. I've talked to people, they bought your kit, and I talked to them a week or 2 later, how do you like the Ninja Red? What? The Ninja Red is in your kit. There's no Ninja Red in my kit. What? You pull the little cardboard out and it's Ninja Red. They call me back. Yeah, you're right. There's an oil in there too. And so anyway, you get pretty excited. So the Ninja Red is an amazing product in itself. It would justify you learning about Young Living if that was the only product we had was Ninja Red. Ninja Red helps to fortify the body in many ways. If I was free to say everything I want to say about Ninja Red, I would say that it balances a lot of things in the body that you would want to know about. Okay, Ninja Red that is made from a puree from the wolfberry, which is part of the goji berry family from northern China, and that fresh puree from China is shipped to the U.S. where they add pomegranate juice, blueberry juice, and acerola cherry juice, and they put 4 of Young Living's citrus oils in with that, and that's what makes it an oil-infused drink that helps to fortify the body. Also, what's in this is a bottle of our chemical-free hand sanitizer. And
I swear by it. I use it before every day. And then when I hold my hands, like to do the Reiki, I just have to take a nice deep breath and smell on my feet and they, oh, is that ever nice?
so that's in the bottom. These little empty bottles would be if you want to put 5 or 10 drops of an oil and give it to a friend to share with a friend so they can sample what a couple drops of that oil might do for them. And then also has, and I'm going to set this down right here so you can still look at it. And it also has a bottle of Northern Lights Black Spruce. Now I'm gonna take the top off, this right here like this, and can you smell that? Yes, I just feel grounded already. If I get any more grounded, they have to put 6 feet of dirt on it. Anyway, but we're not gonna go there right now, but this is Northern Lights Black Spruce. Now what's the difference between Northern Lights Black Spruce and other black spruce? Well, Young Living did have black spruce for years that was made from trees in Quebec and Saskatchewan, and they were both good oils. This comes from Fort Nelson, BC, where the northern lights have an effect on the trees in that part of Canada. And so when they make this oil, they actually cut the tree and they chip the tree and they take the fresh chips and put it into a stainless steel cooker that's about 7 feet across, 14 feet high. They pack that down and they put high volume and low pressure steam through that, and it goes up through the chips, into a condenser, then into a separator, and that's how we get that oil. And last time that I was at the distillery in Fort Nelson, BC, where this oil comes from, Young Living had over $8.5 million tied up in that distillery. That's not what it costs to run it, to make this oil, that's what it costs to build a distillery. So these oils aren't cheap, only because it costs a lot of money to do oil distilling properly. I didn't say that quite right. If you don't know what I mean, just put back up and I'll re-say it again. So anyway, the 10 oils are in the top. What are you doing? You recorded me over here too, so now I get 3 people to talk. So am I talking to an Android or to an Apple?
You're talking to an Apple.
Okay.
No, you are.
Really?
Weird. And then it says, new live video, and then it says, share.
Yeah, we can leave it, but we.
Oh, yeah, all right, okay, that's fair. So you were alive, but it was just Laura.
Yeah.
You're my guinea pig, I apologize.
Here's the deal. I can be very spontaneous, and unlike a lot of people, you can catch some people at certain times of the day, certain days of the week, certain weeks of the year. You can catch them; they're sharper than they were at other times. And why is that? Because sometimes we're mentally distracted by other things going on in our life. Foods that we've eaten in the last 24 or 48 hours can affect how we think and how we feel. And there's a lot of things that can affect our performance on a regular basis. But however, by using a Young Living essential oil on a daily basis, either breathing it or putting it on topically will affect your performance and productivity in a positive way, some way or another. Now, can you measure that? Of course you can. For example, this being compliant and saying things that I can't have repeated is a real drag for me. I just, like, there's a lot of things I want to share. The essential oils that we have with Young Living, a lot of them have an NHP number with Health Canada. That means they have a natural health product number. And because of that, I'm allowed to say more than what I could say if it didn't have that. For example, peppermint oil, up until a year ago, till we had the NHP numbers, I could only say this was an uplifting smell. Okay, a traditional uplifting smell. Now I can say this relieves the symptoms of a cough or a cold. Well, that's a big difference. Okay, I'm still not allowed to tell you that you can take oils internally, but there are some people in the world that might do that. But there are days that I get really close to my oils, and some days I get closer to them than I do other days. So enough said on that. So lemon oil is a good oil that will help with microcirculation. Lemon oil is a good oil to diffuse in the house to help might maybe improve memory retention. Joanne has used lemon oil a lot as a degreaser on our clothing. So we're using Thieves laundry detergent, which is, by the way, a chemical-free laundry detergent that Young Living has. And we have a stain on a piece of clothing. She'll put a drop of lemon oil on it, let it sit overnight, throw it in the washer with the Thieves cleaner, and that stain's gone. She even had a white skirt one time. She sat in a red chair that was wet, and her white skirt went all red from the dye of the red velvet on the chair. And she sprinkled lemon all over that, put it in the washer, and it was all gone. So peppermint is a good oil to help lower body temperature. And I would not use any of these essential oils on a small child unless you really know what you're doing. And I wouldn't even put peppermint on a child under 2 or 3. I just put it on my hand and hold it close to the child to help lower body temperature and not put it right on them. And there again, I'm not telling you what to do, but you can research that yourself. And there's a lot of research that's out there on the oils, on the internet, on different books. If you're going to get it off the internet, make sure you validate the source before you listen to their advice on how to use the essential oil. Peppermint is really good to help keep you awake. Is anybody here falling asleep? Huh? Yeah, just get you good with. If you want to, you can get close to it. Now, have you ever got an oil in your eye? What's the worst thing you could do? Flush it with water. Don't. You ever get any essential oil in your eye? Don't flush it with water. Get a little bit of milk or butter or olive oil and just put that on your eye, and that'll take the sting away from your oil in the eye. I don't believe, this is not Young Living's point of view, but I don't believe the oil would hurt your eye, but you don't want to do that. And we don't intentionally put oils in our eye, but we put an oil somewhere, maybe on my elbow, and 5 minutes later, I rub my ear and I pick my nose and I rub my eye, and then I realized that I still had the oil on my hand. So it's not hard to do. We have lemon, peppermint, frankincense. What do you do with frankincense that's compliant? So frankincense is really uplifting. Frankincense oil and resin has been recorded, documented for thousands of years. It was one of the oils that was given to the Christ child. And why would they do that? That's an interesting study. You should take the time to figure that out. And then lavender oil is the oil I made mention of earlier that can balance things in the body, and was an oil that my wife did not like to use, and those little things in her body that need to be balanced. Lavender is really good at that. That's why she didn't like the smell of it. So she put lavender on the bottom of her feet, and that helped balance those little things in her body. And once they got balanced, then she could put lavender oil all over, smell it, diffuse it, wear it as cologne or whatever, and just loves it today. And so those 4 oils are what we call a single oil. And then we have one more single that's in this kit. So 5 of these oils on the top here are all what we call a single. The next one is Copaiba oil. And I'm going to let Laura open this one because she hasn't used it yet. Copaiba is an oil that I like to get. Some people say, not everybody, but some people say that Copaiba is the most powerful anti-inflammatory oil that there is. It's a unique oil. It comes from the sap of a tree in South America. So they tap the tree, get the sap out of it, and they get the oil out of the sap. So if I had to work in a scent-free environment, and until I was able to be vocal to the people and challenge them on what technically is scent-free, and the essential oil should not be put in that same category, I would refrain from known oils like lavender and peppermint, even though synthetic compounds and synthetic soaps that people are using that smell like lavender. The lavender oil smells similar to that. So in just the smell, not in the effect. So if you had lavender on you and you went to work, then people that recognize lavender, they know right off the bat you're wearing something and they're going to freak out, right? So wear something that challenges their senses, right? That'd be Copaiba oil, for example. They might smell something, they got no idea what it is, and you can just say, I just passed gas an hour ago and it's still I mean, just have a little bit of fun with it. Right? Hey, you know, I busted something I ate, you know? And so you can have a little bit of fun with those people and mess their heads up a little bit, because that's an oil that they can't detect quite really what that is. And so Copaiba oil, like I said, is good for inflammation. All Young Living essential oils, when you breathe them and put them on topically, will raise your vibration. What I mean by your vibration, that is your life senses. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so all of the oils will raise your vibration. So you could put Copaiba oil on the bottom of your feet, and get creative in some other places that you might want to put it. And Copaiba oil would be one that you could start off with when you want to mess with the smell detecting of some of your friends at work.
Is that the one that you used last week?
No, I use Cypress. Cypress is another good oil that people might not be able to detect what it is. And there again, you can say it's something I ate. I say, I just kind of feeling that. Why can't you say that when you see something I ate? It's just sort of lingering. I ate something I ate a few hours ago and it's coming through my skin. What do you want me to do about it? You know, so, right? It's in my breath, you know? And so, yeah, so you can have a little bit of fun with some of these people. Orange oil is not in the kit, but here, can you smell that? Orange oil is very uplifting. And I mean, when was the last time you heard somebody was allergic to an orange? And they're allergic to oranges? Orange peel, okay? Citrus scents, okay. All right. Yeah, anyway, that's for them. But I would bet you a starter kit that I could go into their house and I could show you all kinds of things in their bathroom that has propylene glycol in it. You go into the hospital, go in most workplaces, you've got hand sanitizers on the wall. And they say, wash your hands, then use this hand sanitizer. One of the top ingredients in that, and I'm compliant when I say this, because that's public information. Those hand sanitizers have propylene glycol in it, which has been proven to cause dermatitis, liver problems, and other skin problems. And so now they're saying to put on my hand a chemical that causes dermatitis, liver cancer, and other health problems, and they want me to put that on my hand and then go to my workstation. I've seen people at keyboards in government states. Actually, I was going through customs on my way back from Croatia a few weeks ago, and I saw a girl take out a bottle of Purell, rub it all over her hands, and then rub it all over her keyboard and stuff. Okay? She has no idea what she's just done. The amount of toxic chemicals that she's put in her body. I could also go into most people's bathrooms and see where they're using shampoo and body wash that has sodium lauryl sulfate in it and other toxic ingredients. Okay? Most women that go to work that say they want a scent-free environment, that they want the scent-free environment, have exposed themselves to 80 or more toxic chemicals before they even get in their car and go to work. And so they're doing this to themselves at home. Aware of it, unaware of it, doesn't make any difference. Just because you don't know that you're doing something wrong doesn't excuse you from doing something wrong. Okay? So people are doing this to themselves because they want, here's the other thing. A lot of people say, okay, these are natural, supposedly safe products to use. Prove it to me. that this is safe for me to use. I get that all the time. Prove to me that that peppermint oil, which is a natural essential oil extracted from the peppermint plant with no man-made chemicals whatsoever. People want me to prove to them that this is safe to use. Yet I can go into their bathroom and look at everything on top of the counter, in the medicine cabinet, and under your sink. And when did you ask the supplier of any of those products to prove to you that those were safe to use? You've never done it. You've never asked Sobeys or the superstore to prove to you that that laundry detergent that you're using every day on your clothes and sleeping in for 8 hours, you did not ask Superstore to prove to you that long-term use of that laundry detergent would not have any adverse effects on your skin or other parts of your body. You didn't ask that, right? So if you've never asked that for every toxic thing that you're using in your house, why do you need to ask it on this? I'm not saying don't ask it. I'm just saying ask it on the other stuff too.
You're questioning the wrong thing.
Yeah. So
Go Google what Tylenol does. And
then take 5 and tell me how that made you feel. You know. Now, I think this is compliant. So I'm going to say it. If I get a ticket, I'm sorry. I'll pay the fine.
Well, this is
I'm preaching. I'm sharing something that, and I raised my voice a little bit there, and if that offended you, I apologize, because I did not mean to offend. I'm 64 years old. Prior to joining Young Living 15 years ago, I took an antibiotic once a year to twice a year, every year for 20 years prior to that I can remember. All of them I had all life. For sinus infections, for ear infections, every year, so as long as I can remember. Since I joined Young Living 15 years ago and started using these oils on a daily basis, I've not done that in 15 years. So what I'm sharing with you, this stuff works, okay? I've also been radical at eliminating toxic chemicals from my home in every way that I possibly can. And I've gotten to the point that I would be free to let anybody go in my bathroom or my kitchen, look in my cupboards, under my cupboards, and not have to worry about what you're going to see, because it ain't there. So, also, my wife is the only member in her entire family on both sides that is not using any medication of any kind whatsoever and has not taken a pharmaceutical drug for a headache or anything like that in the last 15 years. So all I'm saying to you is diet, lifestyle, and these choices make a difference. And people say, well, she's just the lucky one. You believe whatever you want. I believe that everything that we put into our body, what goes into our eyes, what goes into our ears, and what goes into our mouth makes a difference on how we feel physically and emotionally. And what goes on our skin is just as important. Our skin is the largest organ in our body, and most people just, without even thinking about it, they buy something in the store, it smells good, looks good, and they'll buy into the marketing of that, and they'll put it on their skin without really taking the time to figure out what's in that. And it's only been recently that it's been in the CBC News a little while ago that there is lead in lipstick. Prior to that on TV, I didn't even know that. I would have been telling people about that for years, that there's lead in lipstick. I mean, lead is a heavy metal. Why do you want to put that on your lips and then lick it off all day long? Why? Why would you want to do that? It's illegal to have lead piping in your house that your water runs through, but you're okay with putting it on your lips. Okay, back to the oil. All right, so we have 5 more oils that are in this kit. I apologize for saying anything that offended you or that you didn't like. That was not my intention of being here tonight. My intention is to educate and inform people and help them make better choices. What's in this kit is called Dye Guys. This is a blend of oil. Dye Guys is really good for nausea. On my way to the airport in Croatia a couple weeks ago, my Uber driver he's being paid by the job, not by the minute. And we're taking some twisty turning roads on that road. And man, I thought I was going to lose it. And I was looking for a place on this floor to lose it. And so I pulled out my bottle of Dye Guys, which had never traveled without taking this. And I got close to it, took some good whiffs of it. And within a few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, that nausea from the moving around like this was gone. So Dye Guys is really good for any kind of an upset stomach. You can rub it right on the bottom of your feet or put it on your belly or find other creative places to put it. Purification is a good oil to disinfect the air. And have you smelled that before? You haven't started yet?
I do.
But you haven't used this one yet? You have a dog or a cat? You have a dog? Okay. I don't have a dog anymore. Is your dog toilet trained or is it go outdoors? So if your dog is going outdoors this week, can it do it without getting wet? It's pretty tricky, isn't it? Okay, so get a little glass bottle, fill it with non-chlorinated water, and put 10-15 drops of purification in that. Shake it every time you go to use it, and when your dog comes in, don't spray the dog's face, that's not polite. But just spray the coat with a little bit of purification, and that'll get rid of the wet dog smell. It's amazing for that. Or spray it on the mat or anywhere where the wet dog was at, and it's really good for getting rid of that unpleasant odor from the wet dog. And your dog will like you for it too. So purification also we have with the starter kit comes with this diffuser over here that's running, that's behind this stuff. And that diffuser has a retail value of $90 and it comes with the starter kit. The starter kit is $200 plus tax and shipping. It's a really good deal. If you take all the oils in the starter kit and you value them out individually, along with the diffuser, you're running a $300 plus value. So when you pay $242, that's tax and shipping on the starter kit, you're saving a lot of money. So another oil blend that's in this one is Thieves. Thieves has eucalyptus radiata, rosemary, clove, cinnamon bark, and lemon oil in it. Thieves is a good oil to help stimulate but turn on your immune system. Best place to put it, second best place to put it is the bottom of your feet. And just put 2 or 3 drops on the bottom of your feet first thing in the morning and when you go to bed at night, and will reduce the risk of getting a cough, cold, or flu. What's that? Okay. There are other creative things that you can do with these. One thing is there is some documentation out there that Thieves oil diffused with a diffuser that only puts oil into the air will kill black toxic mold. So if you had mold in this room, you'd seal the room off, diffuse a big bottle of Thieves oil, and it would kill the mold. But that can't be a diffuser like that. It has to be one that just puts oil into the air. The next blend that's in this kit is RC. RC has 3 different eucalyptus oils in it, very effective for respiratory. So anybody having a hard time breathing, rub it right on your chest or the bottom of the feet. Really good place to put RC. RC is an oil that I wouldn't get too close to. I would put it in a diffuser if having a hard time breathing at night when in sleeping. RC would be a good oil to help breathe better when going to bed at night. Panaway is a really good oil. It has wintergreen in it, so it does have a safety cap on it. Wintergreen can be a hot oil for some people. My personal experience is to find out if I'm sensitive to an oil on my skin. I would just touch the top of the bottle of the oil and rub it right in a soft spot in my elbow right here. And if it goes red right away, then I'm sensitive to the oil on my skin. not allergic, sensitive. And so that means the oil should be diluted on my skin with coconut oil or olive oil. And that would just slow down the action of the oil on the skin. So Panaway is a really good oil to put on any muscle or joint discomfort or a knee pain or any elbow pain in the body. We've had a lot of success on sharing with people that maybe you have to use your own your discretion on this, but I'm not prescribing or treating. I'm just saying that I know of people that have put 3 or 4 drops of Panaway right on location where there was pain, and then they would put 3 or 4 drops of Copaiba oil on top of that and layer it, and then put a couple drops of peppermint on top of that again, and the peppermint would help drive the other oils deeper into the tissue, and they've seen a shift in their pain threshold within 5 to 10 minutes. Does it completely go away? Not always. So it might need to be reapplied. So that's the oils in a nutshell that's in the kit. Of course, there's a lot more uses for each one of these oils. You want to come to a private class or do your own research online and find out more uses of these oils. Another oil that you could use, the oil that's in the kit, one of my black spruce, would be another oil that I wouldn't hesitate to use if I was working in a scent-free environment. And because I went for a walk in the woods on the way here and a tree fell on me. Well, maybe you should come with me, maybe a tree will fall on you too. So, I mean, the oil, you're not lying. So to avoid lying, you would just, the oil is lifeblood of the tree, so it's really part of the tree. And I was walking along and the tree fell on me. So, and so now I smell like a spruce tree. So, and I had to just rub it off, and now it's sort of all over me everywhere. Can't really help it, but I mean, you raise your vibration, and you feel better, and you smell like a tree. Now, are there people allergic to trees? Yeah. So, I mean, you can find people that think they're allergic to everything, right? My personal opinion sometimes are better left unsaid. So, anyway.
Some people are scared. I've always said that. So there was a chemical that's not not realizing the chemicals. So then later in life, I was able to see those limiting beliefs that were coming out of my identity with being allergic to things and my skin conditions and stuff. But you just have to question that and see what's actually those things that cause your heart.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, that makes sense, but the same, and that's what people don't know. They just don't know.
No, and there's a lot of people that, because they don't know what an essential oil is, and they don't know that there are no proteins in essential oils, so technically you cannot be allergic to anything that doesn't have a protein in it. The fear of the unknown will make people put a wall up, right? And people put walls up all the time when they don't know something. And Jeff and I had the pleasure of each other's company eating something before we came here. And that's a Rogers store that I went into a few years ago, and I bought my first iPhone. And actually I bought 2. I bought an iPhone 6 and an iPhone 5 for my wife. And we got a really good deal on the 5 at the time. And because I didn't understand how to use an iPhone 6, I put a wall up. I didn't want it. I took the iPhone 5 back within 2 weeks, gave it back to Rogers. They gave my iPhone 6 that I put a laminated cover on. I couldn't take it back, so I gave it to my wife. And within a few months, she understood how to use it. And watching her use the phone, I sort of picked up on it that, okay, I get that now, because I used to have a flip phone, and that's what you call somebody, right? I mean, doing all this texting stuff, I mean, what are you going to do that for? So there's a lot of stuff that people do on an iPhone I don't think is necessary, but tell people to do it, that they don't need to do it, you don't want to go there. So so I had put out walls on the use of phones, only because I didn't understand how to use it. And once I learned how to use an iPhone 6, those walls came down really quick. So people will put walls up when it comes to essential oils, only because they don't know how oils are properly made. They don't know the difference between Young Living and other companies. They don't understand the real benefits of using essential oils. So until they understand some of that, they're going to keep those walls up because it protects them. So understanding that, you've got to just use oils around those people, and their curiosity will let them bring the wall down a little bit, that you can share the oils with them. And once you've done that, you've helped change that person's life for the better. So Young Living also has, before I'm done, we have Thieves, a whole line of Thieves products that complement the Thieves essential oil, Thieves dish soap. There's a lot of toxic chemicals in dish soap. Why does that matter? It matters because you're not getting 100% pure rinse off of that soap when you rinse your dishes. Unless you're holding every dish under boiling hot water when you rinse it, there's a residue of that dish soap on your plate that you're eating off of it. Think about it. So if you're comfortable with the dish soap that you're washing your dishes in, and eating a little bit of that every day, then continue to use what you're using. If you want to look at something that's 100% plant-based, and this green stuff that people are marketing on that you see in the grocery store, to get a green labeling in Canada means you bought something that allows you to get that, or means it's more beneficial to the environment, not necessarily beneficial for your personal human use.
And it's on my class.
Yeah. So then we have Thieves household cleaner that you can clean everything in your home with. We have Thieves toothpaste. My grandsons, both of them, started off with this because if they didn't rinse 100%, I wasn't concerned about it. It's 100% plant-based toothpaste. And I know a lot of people that were using toothpaste because their teeth were sensitive and their gums are actually better and their teeth are no longer sensitive since they've been using this toothpaste. This would be a product that I would join Young Living for if this was all they had, would be this. Then we also have 100% plant-based probiotic called Life 9 with essential oils in it. The essential oils that are in this product make the other stuff work better. I'm not getting into the technical stuff on it.
Absorption. I will go some 24%, 86%.
There you go.
In 24 hours.
Call Denise. 1-800-DENISE. And she'll explain how all that works. So another product that we have I take every day is Omega Guys. And Omega Guys has CoQ10 in it. I've been taking a CoQ10 supplement for over 20 years. You want to research why I would want to do that. And then it also has vitamin D in it. And then we have another product called Sulfurzyme. And these are all supplements approved by Health Canada that Young Living is allowed to sell in Canada. And Sulfurzyme has MSM in it and ground up wolfberry. So the Ninja Red I talked about earlier had a puree from the wolfberry. This is ground up wolfberry and MSM. This is amazing for liver and muscle and joint discomfort. And we have a herbal product called ICP, which it gets very thick when you mix it up, so you want to drink it really quickly. Anybody concerned about colon health, this is a beneficial product to anybody concerned about the health of their colon. Anybody doesn't know what a colon is, it's that big pipe that runs through your body. We also have digestive enzymes that are oil infused. People that were raised with their mother's milk don't need enzymes as much as those that weren't. So if you were bottle fed as a baby, the older you get in life, you would benefit from a digestive enzyme more than the people that were nursed when they were young. So that's interesting. I'm going to end my talk with everybody that's watching this via computer. That Young Living also has a full line of makeup. We have lipstick. Jeff, come here. I want to show everybody how this stuff works. I guess he's not feeling it. I guess I gotta do it. There you go.
If you had done that,
I'm gonna do this next Wednesday night, so you come on back next Wednesday night, and I'm gonna do a demo with the lipstick, and maybe the lip gloss, or maybe just the lip gloss, not the lipstick. I'm gonna keep you curious, but you'll have to go back and figure it out. And these are my brushes, and I'm gonna dust. So it took me, we've been together for 15 years, and it took me 14 and a half years to talk my wife out of using makeup. Well, I want to put a little bit on it. Honey, you don't need it. We have a product called Shirley. Shirley is a moisturizer that my wife uses at night just before going to bed and early in the morning. It's an oil-infused facial cream. It's very expensive. It's $100 for a jar. But the Shirley has had, I could actually see a difference in my wife's face after a couple of years of her using it. It did wonders for her face. And I would prefer that my wife never wore makeup again in her life, because I wanted to get to a spot, even more than she did, where we're not using any toxic chemicals in our home. And that included, okay, so if you're using essential oils, all this plant-based these products, and then you want to put makeup that has lead in it and other toxic chemicals on your skin, that's going against what we're really trying to do as a couple. And so she got to a point where she wouldn't dye her hair anymore, and a lot of people love her hair, including me, the way it is, natural, without any dye. And it's not a victory for me. I find it a victory for her, because long-term use of dyeing your hair with toxic chemicals cannot do anything good for you. They do good for your outward appearance, but nothing good for you on the inside. And in the last year, Young Living come out with a total mineral-based, no toxic ingredients whatsoever in lip gloss, lipstick, foundation, and other makeup products. So I had to take a deep breath and be 100% compliant and agreeable with my wife, and let her put on makeup whenever she chooses to. And it is her body. She can do what she wants at the end of the day. I'm just a husband, but I care about her a lot, and I'm very proud of her for not being on any medication of any kind. And every time she has a health challenge, she looks to see what she can do naturally to help bring that back into balance, rather than looking to a pharmaceutical drug. And so with that being said, I hope you enjoyed tonight's little talk, and have a good day.
Thanks for watching, guys.